coming from a country like India, we were taught that education is the only way to succeed in life.
Everybody is getting it. Everybody is trying to get it. And so it becomes almost like a hygiene factor, but organizations don't give it as much importance as you think it will.
If people love education, if you get a lot of juices in educating yourself, go for certifications, go for MBA, but know that it is just a checkbox. That's it.
But the moment a free time would come, I would just get so frustrated about everything which was happening. So it just impacted me in every single way possible, and it could not build powerful results. What do you think is the impact of it, and how should people do this? There's a good chance that if you're watching this, that you have worked for 10, 15, 20, 25 years. And after the years of working, doing your job diligently, the initial promise when you started your career that once I'm at a certain place, life will be absolutely fantastic, or at least it won't be as much challenging as it is now. I would have grown. I would have been getting what I deserve in terms of money, in terms of fame, in terms of status. But you know what? Having spent 22 years in corporate sector, like companies like Microsoft, Cognizant, playing senior leadership role, being one of the 2 founding members in Cognizant Australia way back in 2009, and all of that thing, winning $100 million deal and all of that stuff, I found that my life in 2015, 16, 17, all this period felt massively stuck. And no matter what I tried, it did not work. So Shilpa and I were talking about today as to what we should talk about. And we thought, let's talk about something which is very real to people and very real to us as well. So we said, let's talk about why people generally feel stuck in their career and what can be done about it. What are the alternatives?
Absolutely. And this has come from years of working with, last 5 years, we have been working with 1,000+ professionals from in all levels in the corporate, from middle management to senior leadership, CXOs. And what we have noticed is that there is a difference between what people think holds them back versus what actually holds them back. So there are layers of the onion that you need to peel to get to what is the reality, what is the root cause of the things that are holding me back. So let's talk about that one by one, Kapil, to change people's perception and to enable them to get to the root cause. So the first thing that I want to talk about, which a lot of us think, technical skills. They say that I don't have the skills, so I don't have the required skill, I don't have the certification. They feel that they need to do MBA. Most of us, especially in the IT field, at some point in life, we think, now the only gap is MBA. Let me go and do an executive MBA and all those kind of things. And they feel that these are the things that are holding me back from senior leadership, executive leadership. What do you think? Because, this is how our brain has been trained. We had our school, we had our college, and, coming from a country like India, we were taught that education is the only way to succeed in life. But I do feel that it has limited our thinking, and any success that we look forward to, we think about what education can we do? What degree can we get? What certification? And in a way, it is constraining because I have seen people who have done MBAs from the best institutes, from Harvard and other places as well. They get stuck. So I don't think it is the technical skills or certification, but I would love to know your views.
Yeah, look, so in my career, I have probably hired, promoted, grown maybe like 1,000 people or more. And I want to ask you this question. If you're a manager or if you've ever hired anybody, when you hire people, what do you hire for? A, you hire for their skills and capabilities, or B, you hire for ability to get stuff done. Now, I know there are some people who stay in the middle who like to be very cautious, who will say, oh, I hire for both. Of course you hire for both. But what would you give? Everything equal. What would you give more priority? You give priority to ability to get things done. People have a very wrong perspective when they look at promotion or hiring or any of these things. They think that people are being promoted because somebody does a better job. It's invariably, you talk to any leader, you talk to any good manager, I'm saying good manager, they will promote people, they will grow people when they know that they can get stuff done. There are people who have lower capability, but who can get things done. In fact, I can tell you, like, truth admission, okay, I had project managers in my team who were way better than me. And because I was a delivery manager and managing multiple teams, some of it, I'll sometimes go to their meeting and I would try to assert myself by saying something, but I could see that this person is way better than me. So, so having been to those situations where I've worked with people who are amazing, I can tell you that ability to get things done is bigger. For me, my ability to get things done was amazing because I was able to tap into people. So that's the one thing. So who would you hire? You'll probably hire the B people, right? People who basically can get things done. Now, as a result, as a part of this, what you have to understand is that skills and capabilities, everybody has it. Way back in till about 2005 and 6 and 7, probably, it was okay. You could do skills and capabilities because only few people were getting it. But today, everybody is getting it. Everybody is trying to get it. And so it becomes almost like a hygiene factor, but organizations don't give it as much importance as you think it will. In fact, I would say that if you look at it, like one of the stories I could tell you is that when I joined Microsoft in 2003, I remember I was a senior program manager. I was like 33-year-old at the time, and there was this director level person who came from the US, and he was 27, 28-year-old. And it shocked the big Jesus out of me. It's like, my gosh, he's 27-year-old, he's a director, and I was senior program manager. I would have become lead program manager. I would have become a group program manager. Then I would have become a director. It would probably have taken me like 6-7 years to do that. And this guy was a director at like that age. And he broke that norm of education. I remember having biases way back in like 2000 when I thought that, oh, if you're not an engineer, you can't do IT. But then I found people from NIIT, doing like simple courses who are really amazing developers. So a lot of those things broke over the years, and I'm grateful for my life that I did not look at education as the way to do it. And I found managing all these things that the number one thing is your ability to get things done.
Yeah, you summarize it really well, Kapil, because if people love education, if you get a lot of juices in educating yourself, go for certifications, go for MBA, but know that it is just a checkbox. That's it. It doesn't guarantee you success. And I want you to consider it, come out of your professional world and look at people in the family, those people that you look up to. It might be an uncle, a rich uncle, a very successful auntie, or some cousin. These are the people who make it happen. If you look at your friend circle, the people that you look up to, these would be the people who get things done. So why is it different in a professional scenario? If you can be that person who will never ever face a brick wall, you will get there. So I hope we have busted the myth that it is not the certification. Do not run after it, because we've had leaders in our programs, in our coaching programs, who had piles of certification on their desk, only to realize that it doesn't work after a certain stage in your career. It doesn't. And a few examples that we have from our clients: if you see a person stuck in a position, a senior leadership position for 8 years, and thought that certificate was the way to move up the ladder, it just didn't take that, right? It was his ability to make it happen that got him the top 3 awards in his company, plus an executive level promotion, all in a matter of 5 months, when he decided that I am the one who makes it happen. And also the other example that we had of the person who joined Amazon. Amazon wanted a certificate, but they loved him so much that they hired him on the spot. And after that, he was given a month to complete the certification.
So really to hone it, really, like, you can definitely go and take the certification. You can do that. We're not saying that don't do that, right? We're saying that's just going to be about 5% of the thing. That's it.
Absolutely. Moving to the next thing, politics, the beast of politics. A lot of us feel held back by what is happening in our proximity, and we feel the environment is toxic. People are playing against, people are waiting for us to fall. And, it's not a great environment, and it is they who are doing it. And I always feel, how can somebody else have so much control over your life? It is what you do internally inside that matters. So somewhere you're not holding yourself up together powerfully. So I am one of those people who used to say politics is not my cup of tea. That's what I would say. And today, after so many years, I realized it was never politics. It was my own incapability to deal with it. And having worked with the professionals, having helped them win over the environment in as short as 1 to 2 months, I know that as the king or queen of your territory, you need to know it. You need to know it inside out. You need to know how to navigate it. Because if you don't know it, then you're not fit to be the king or queen. What do you think of it?
Yeah, like I think there are multiple things, and people are not going to like what I say because, like, they're not our clients, so they're not going to like. But you're not here to like what I say. You're here to really gain something. So one of the big reasons why people do it is because it's very easy to put my flaws on other people, my failings to other people, my not getting what I want from other people. Please don't get me wrong. Politics exist. Bad managers exist. But they're not as prevalent as we think they are. Like, Shilpa, we have been in multiple places, right? We have 100 people, 200 people, 300 people, and we say, hey, raise your hand if you believe the corporate politics exists. And everybody says yes. Pretty much everybody says yes, 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 yes. And then we say, raise your hand if you play politics. And less than 1% people raise their hand. And I always wonder, who's this person who says, yes, I play politics? Oh my gosh. So who plays politics? Who then plays politics? It becomes a convenient thing for us to lay the blame on other people. It becomes a thing which is basically, okay, you know what? Everybody but me. And here's the way to look at it. If a decision is taken which is in favor to me, I'm going to find it good because there's a reason, because I can see the series of steps which I've taken for my manager to promote me, grow me, whatever, give me the meaty project. But if it is done for Shilpa, because I don't know the interaction between them and I can only perceive it, I'm going to think there is an issue with that, especially if I get hurt by that. Especially I'm eyeing for the position. So we tend to do that. And I can tell you the story, because I'm a story guy, It's like, I joined this new organization within my company, in my job. I changed my jobs in 2014. Within this job, I went into a different unit. And I was told by another person that this XYZ person in the team has got boss's ear, and he's the reason there were a lot of problems, and he's going to play politics with you, and everybody within the company listens to him, all those kind of things. And I'm like, okay. And he said, be careful with this guy. Now, this guy was one level below me. I could have asserted my superiority. I could have done that. Or I could have realized that, in our manager, the common manager, if my manager, who I have respected enough to join his team, because I was within the company and I just shifted the job within the company. If I respected him enough to join the team, and this person has my manager's ear, this political beast has my manager's ears, that means there must be something great about it. So I went to this guy and I said, can you be my mentor? And he said, yes. And this guy, when I got a specific deal with one of the accounts there in Australia, he went out of his ways to get me best people. And then when I had to expand the team, he again went out of his ways to get me the best people, to help me out from globally best people. And as a result, this team, A-class team that I was able to put forward, to create, they did an amazing job, and we were able to win $100 million deal in that account. And all that started because me not admitting that politics exists. So, so two parts to it. A, you can beat the beast of politics, by saying, I'm not going to give in to it. I'm going to keep doing what is right. I'm going to find these informal powers within the company and tap into their mind share and really leverage that as a way to grow everybody around me. And B, if you do encounter bad managers and all of it, you can actually have a conversation with them, because maybe there is a perception filter they have got, and you can break the filter by having a coffee with them, by having a coffee catch up with them, and that's you can beat the thing. And see, if you still are not able to move forward, if you still feel that people are actually bad and all of it, then it's time to take a hike, move, go to a different team. Because if you do have a bad manager, bad peer group and all of it, it's like a place which is pulling you down, leave. If you sit and whinge there, it's not going to do you any good. It's just going to make you feel more frustrated. It impacts your capability, even confidence, capability, everything gets impacted. So this beast of organization politics, it's good to have a conversation and talk bad about it. Look at my face just got contorted when I think about it. Because it's almost like being impotent. I'm not able to influence anything. So I'm basically going to talk bad about other people and that's it. Just going to stay there. What's the point of that?
And it doesn't feel good because you're not able to win over the situation. You've got a lot of constraints. You're feeling like a victim. You have no power and everything what they are doing is wrong. So it leaves you just powerless and you don't know what to do. And over a period of time, if you continue in that situation, it hollows your foundation. It impacts your belief system. It impacts your capability. And you end up making more mistakes because somewhere in that environment, what has grown is lack of trust. And to get that trust back in you, in your capability, you have to do something very different. So you have to break the loop. It might be an honest conversation, as Kapil said, or it might be you understanding whether it is me only, that it is happening with me or it is happening with other people in the organization. Because if it is with everyone, you have got the opportunity to make it happen for all of them. Yesterday only I was having a conversation with a client about it, that it's all the people that they are thrown under the bus and nobody's liking the environment. It's micromanagement's politics. Then it was her opportunities to rise and shine, do things differently, get it right for everyone. But if it is just you, then you need to really observe yourself. What is it that I am not doing? What is it that the person is expecting, people around me are expecting? Is that an expectation mismatch or is that a capability issue? What is the gap? And deal with it. So yes, there might be people in your environment who are making it difficult for you, but the responsibility is yours. The owners of your career, whatever problem comes in front of you, it's a hurdle for you to cross. So you need to decide the way forward.
And I just want to add that, we have had multiple conversations with people about it, that there are people who basically are saying, I'm ready to quit my job today. I said, hold on, don't. I have a bad relationship with my manager will never change. Hold on, don't. And because we knew them, because we understood them, and we were able to turn things around, and they were able to turn things around with a little very minor change of having conversations, appreciating what people bring to the table. Like if you're a manager, you would see how many times your team actually appreciates you. So I know that these are like tactical solutions, but at least start dealing with that by tapping into your power, as Shilpa is saying, by actually thinking what can you change, by actually having honest conversation, by appreciating your managers, by doing little things, by finding positivity in your environment. Because negativity just pulls negativity and you cannot create anything positive out of negative. So, I think next one I want to talk about, because this is something which was my biggest problem, like massive problem for me, which is too busy with the day-to-day stuff, caught up in the day-to-day rut. I remember in 2012 when I lost the director level promotion at Cognizant, and I was very frustrated, and and I went into all kind of mode about from certification, politics to everything. But one of the things which was happening was I was caught up in a day-to-day rut, and I asked Shilpa, what should I do? What should I change? And she said, change your job. But I was so caught up in the day-to-day rut. But actually, it took me like 3 years to make a CV, to make a resume. I was so operationally caught up in day-to-day things, and there was multiple impact of that. It was like I would because I was just so busy. Every day was filled up with stuff to do, and you have limited time in the day. And when I'm busy, I used to think, no, things are okay. But the moment a free time would come, I would just get so frustrated about everything which was happening. So it just impacted me in every single way possible, and it could not build powerful results. So, and whereas Shilpa has always been a time lord, she always had time. She was able to create time. So Shilpa, I would say she is the expert in this. What do you think is the impact of it, and how should people do this?
So I see this lack of time or being too busy as the single most important factor that breeds mediocrity in people, because you can't think beyond it. Your day literally starts in the morning at 8 o'clock. In fact, You get up, you get ready, and you rush to the office, or you sit down on your desk to work if you're working from home. And then it goes on till 7 o'clock, 7:30. Then you get up, you spend some time with the family, have your dinner, and relax and go to sleep. And this loop continues year after year. And you just don't know how to break it, because this is your way of life. You just don't know anything beyond it. So you need to literally sit down and tell yourself that I have got 40 minutes in the day. That person who is climbing the corporate ladder with much more speed, those people who have gone beyond me, those people who were my batchmates, those people who started with me and who are doing much better than me in their career, they also had the 40 minutes. So what is it that they are doing that I am not doing?
And I just want to add that in this case, it's very easy to say they're born with a golden spoon, they've got the right opportunity, they're in the right company and all of it. But look, you don't serve yourself at all if you bring it on to parameters which are outside your control.
It is all about what you do in your minutes, what you do in your hours, what you do in your week, what you do in your months. You literally see that feed into the quality of your life. So if you feel that you're not finding that juices, your life has become average, maza nahi aa raha hai, and all that, you need to sit back and observe what is it that I'm doing in my day, and you literally have to get out of that day-to-day rut into just, I'm not saying much, but if an hour you can take out of your 24 hours to pave way for the future, whether it is looking for a new job, or whether it is thinking about what is it that I do differently so that I get promoted, next promotion is mine, or taking an initiative in your company, or creating your visibility, creating your brand, or taking care of your health, doing exercise, whatever is your goal that you want to, something different that you want to do in life, just 1 hour a day. Give it 1 hour, take out from your routine, and you'll be able to win it.
And I also want to add that some part of it also comes to the technical skills and certification in this case, that I have to take a very big leap. I can tell you, we work with people across like 16 different countries, and I can tell you it's always the small stuff that you do that counts much, much more. The small stuff that you, something big is always created on top of small things. We know people basically who are like, oh, I'm trying to get this certificate done for the last 2 years, and then in 3 months they can get it done. And the average norm might be like 6 months, because they start taking small steps. They register for their particular exam or whatever it is. You find time for things which are important for you. Time is not found, it is created. Because here's the thing, you probably will align with that. Most people are living that same set of type of activities day after day after day after day after day after day. And then there's a reprieve on the weekend saying, okay, let me catch up on the weekend. And weekend comes and weekend goes. And then you're not basically, part of you is basically caught up with the work, and then work comes in, and then part of it is caught up in your personal life and all of it. And it's like you're pulling your hair and saying, oh my gosh, when will this stop? Maybe when I change my job, it will stop. You get into a new job, then you feel the need to work longer hours because you have to prove yourself, and the rut starts again and again and again. And you look at some time management courses, urgent versus important quadrant and all that kind of stuff. And it still doesn't really resolve anything. What Shilpa and I are talking about is really fundamental change in the belief that, I am not too busy. I can find time. For important things, I will find time. I in fact just remembered my own twin brother. I have a twin brother, and he stays in Boston. His story. When he was younger, he was working, like younger as in like in his 30s. He would work from morning around 9 o'clock till about night 10 o'clock every day, and weekend calls and everything. And he couldn't let go. He built up like 100 people team. He was living in Noida at the time, and he was in chip simulation, chip design simulation and all that VLSI kind of a thing. And he could not actually let go. And then once he fell mightily sick for 1.5 months, he didn't go to office. And you know what he said? Nothing really went wrong. My team really managed it very well. And that changed his entire life. He had to go through that bad experience to realize that actually time is created. And here's one very bad thing I would say to you. But all those people who are indispensable, who basically have very busy life, the symmetries are lined up with all those people. None of us is indispensable. If you think that the work is basically just, I have to do this because I have to do something great about it, none of us is that indispensable. So you find time. You have to work. You have to change. You have to let go of some things. You have to remove this need of perfection, and then you can find time.
There's one more thing that I want to bring in this discussion, the personality traits. So people say, this is how I am. I'm an introvert. So it is difficult for me to connect with the people. I just don't know how to go out and, get opportunities because I'm a loner. I work in a silo and this is how I am. There are people who say, I'm a migrant, so I've got an accent. Or I've studied in a Hindi medium school, so my English is not that good. What about that? I mean, how do people deal with their personality trait? Because they've been living it for years.
Yeah, look, personality trait, belief system, what's your background, everything does make an impact on us because we take a look at it like a strength when we're talking to other people outside, but internally we actually hold ourselves back. Like for me, being a Hindi medium guy was something that I carried in my engineering and fortunately started resolving back then. But some of the things that I had was that I used to actually believe that I get lucky in life. That was a big challenge, that everything that I achieved is because of luck, because I knew that I'm not a very intelligent guy, I'm not a very diligent guy, I have all these challenges, so it must be luck. And in the beginning of my career, it worked very well because obviously then I would smash through anything. But eventually, as you go more and more senior, your luck runs out, and then you do not have anything to tap into. Then you basically, the foundation layer of hard work just goes away. But fact is, logically, somebody could prove it to me that, hey, you achieve all these things because of your hard work, but I wouldn't believe it. So you have limiting beliefs about yourself. You have your feelings like, I'm an introvert. I
can talk about it. Introvert. So I'm a massive introvert, a very shy introvert. And for years, I felt that I just cannot be out there because I couldn't speak in groups. One-on-one, it was okay. But speaking in groups, getting my voice out in meetings, it was a big challenge because at the core of it, I kept believing that I'm an introvert and this is normal. But when I said, okay, my introversion is not a constraint. It is actually a strength that I have because I listen, I absorb, and I'm able to make an impact. Then impact was all that I was looking for as I entered the rooms or when I was speaking on stages. It was just, it was the impact that I was making that pulled me because that was a strength. My listening was a strength. So I understood that I don't need to be the best speaker in the world or even in the city. I don't need to. I can just be myself, and people relate more because they see glimpses of them in me. There are other introverts who are able to relate to me. So maybe it is what you believe about yourself. Look at the strength that it is giving you. My introversion was giving me some strength. Kapil's luck factor was giving him a strength of success early in his career. So what is the strength it is bringing to you, and leverage that?
Yeah, too many of us are basically just looking at some of the weaknesses and hold ourselves back with those weaknesses. Fact is, we have a lot more strength, and if we tap into what we have and use that as a way to move forward, we will go a very long way. One of the other personality trait people have is typically, which comes in the way, is that saying to them that I'm tired, I'm too old, I'm just tired. I mean, I can't ever get to these places, or I'm too busy.
I don't have the energy.
I don't have the energy, or I have to be like this person in order to be successful. Because what happens in corporate world, right? Somebody super successful, a manager comes and says, only if I can clone this person. And they start looking at this process and start judging people with the same yardstick. And it's up to you to change it. I've worked with people from across industry and at all kind of level. I've coached people who have been CXO level. And I can tell you that all the time, this personality trait becomes a massive thing. I'm not good enough. A lot of those things, limiting beliefs, your behavioral traits can make a big difference. And one of the biggest problem I had was basically speaking fast. Like, and my accent. So I remember that, in the very early days, I think back in 2007 and 8, I think this was like Microsoft and other tools, and you could just get a chat, and I would be in a CXO level meeting because I was offshore delivery manager for an account and small company in the US. And I remember getting a message back saying, Kapil, can you slow down? Because this CI level person didn't want to insult me in front of other people. Can you slow down? So many people have told me, can you slow down? Can you calm your energy level? Your energy is too high. You move too much, during a conversation. It's very distracting. And I really tried to fit in my personality trait. But it's only when I let go of it, I said, you know what, I'm not going to, because I'm in Australia, I'm not going to suddenly start talking in a very different accent. Anyway, that's so weird, right? I'm just going to start saying, oh yeah, it's okay, I might. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to be who I am. And so who I attract is who I attract. Who I don't attract, I can't. And I found that the judgment I was thinking about what other people will have towards me was actually in my own head, not in them. So this personality traits, you are what you are. The more you embrace yourself, the more you become more of who you are, the better life will be. So, this is the real deal. This is where it hits, the rubber hits the road.
Yeah. And these beliefs that you have about your personality traits, we never get to challenge them because we believe that these are gospel truths. This is how it is. I am an introvert. How do I go there and speak? Or I don't have it inside me. I'm not a leader. So how do I actually become a leader when I don't have it? So we never get to challenge them, but you need to really sit down and see, is that really true? Because most of the things that constrain us is in our mind. And you need to do the work there to get out of it.
So, as we come to the end of it, really, the fourth thing that we talked about is basically the tech skills and certificates. I hope that you're walking away with the feeling that, it's probably 5% of the whole thing. There are other things also. Second, automation politics. Do not be helpless. Control it yourself. Third is too busy with day-to-day stuff and all of it, all the operational thing. And the fourth is personality trait that holds you back. Hopefully, you've got some ideas. We would love to get your thoughts about in the comment section below. What is it that you what else are the things that hold you back your growth? And we can actually record a video about it. We can talk about it. We can come to a similar session and talk about it. What do you think is holding you back from really spreading your wings and fly? Because that's what you want. That's where you want to be.
So put it in the comments and we'll come back with a fresh video on the topic.
And thank you so much for listening to this. I really, this interaction is going to become a very big norm for us as we record these videos for helping you to really build very powerful careers. And those of you who want to get in touch with me and Shilpa, definitely look us up on LinkedIn or put the comment below and we'll share that our LinkedIn in the comment here as well. But look us up on LinkedIn. That's our platform. Between the two of us, we have 50,000 plus followers at this stage. But if you're seeing it after a year or so, then obviously it'll be a lot more. That's a platform where we share content every day. So connect with us there and see and learn and grow together. Have a phenomenal day.
See you.